Good morning and welcome to the Pittsfield 4th of July Parade pre-show. Brought to you by Pittsfield Community Television. We bring you live to Park Square in beautiful downtown Pittsfield for our festivities and the start of this year's parade, Stars, Stripes, and Smiles in the Berkshires.
And welcome to downtown Pittsfield, where as we get ready for another 4th of July parade. My name is Bob Heck. I'm joined with Becky Manship. And nice and dry out here now. We had a little drizzle earlier, which yes. I'm sure the runners greatly appreciated.
Definitely can feel the humidity, but it's not bad. We couldn't have asked for a nicer clearing.
Yes, especially with the forecast we were looking at last night. There was potential downpours throughout the entire parade, maybe even some thunderstorms, but that does not look to be the case right now as folks are lining up on the streets. Some did have their umbrellas earlier, but we should be clear for just a little while anyways, and maybe we'll get another drizzle spot or two during the parade. But
no matter the rain, though, it doesn't dampen the spirit here. You can feel the spirit, see all the smiles. So it's a great morning here in Pittsfield.
Absolutely. The runners came through a little earlier as the 4th of July race, the 5K, and no, I did not run. Nor do I plan to.
But a big group of runners
Absolutely.
This morning. It seemed like a larger crowd this morning.
And props to them because
yes.
the only time you'll see me running, Becky, if you ever see me running, you should run too because I'm running away from something. So that's the only racing I will ever do. But we're really excited for another parade this year. Second year back, Stars, Stripes, and Smiles.
Yes.
And we're expecting a lot of Stars, Stripes, and Smiles today as the 4th of July Parade 2023 is ready to roll.
It seems like just yesterday we were here, you and I, for the first year of co-hosting together. So it's great to be back with you, Bob, and look forward to a great morning. And it seems like there's a lot of new groups, new units, what we call, in the parade this year. Quite a bit of floats. So it'll be a great, diverse parade this morning for you.
And certainly it was a little bit of a smaller parade last year, mainly because groups didn't have an opportunity to rehearse and be ready for this thing. That's not the case this year. The parade is expanded. Got a lot of units. We're very excited to kick off this parade. As you see in the counter on the lower left-hand corner of your screen, we are 27 minutes and 10 seconds away from the 4th of July Parade 2023. Right now, we're going to take a timeout and acknowledge some of our wonderful underwriters supporting this parade.
Greylock Federal Credit Union, proud supporters of the Pittsfield 4th of July Parade. You can see Greylock virtually anytime online at greylock.org. Greylock Federal Credit Union, opportunity grows here. We would also like to thank Berkshire Community College and Berkshire Bank.
Definitely want to thank our underwriters for being a part of the 4th of July Parade. It helps us bring this live coverage to you, and we're just very excited for all of the underwriters and getting ready for the festivities here on the 4th of July. But we got a really special bonus for you right now as part of the pre-show here on PCTV. The $1 Million Quartet. Have you had an opportunity to see it yet?
I have not.
I haven't either. I'm going to get there before the run ends, but we got an exclusive preview of the $1 Million Quartet.
Now you come back a-knocking on my door. I hear you knocking, but you can't come in. I hear you knocking, go back where you've been. I told you not to, but you said goodbye. Now you come back telling me all your lies.
Let's have a party. Let's have a party. Let's have a party. Send them to the store. Let's buy some oranges. Have a party tonight. Well, baby, paint your lips and regulate your wig and bring along a shovel, cause we're really gonna dig. Let's have a party. Let's have a party. Let's have a party. Let's have a party. Send them to the store. Let's buy some oranges. Have a party tonight. Let's have a party. Let's have a party. Beans on the stove, the bread is getting hot. Everybody come and taste the pasta, Papa John. Let's have a party. Let's have a party. Let's have a party. Let's have a party. Send it to the store. Let's buy some more. Let's have a party tonight. Well, we'll have a party tonight.
And welcome back to a pre-show, and we're here with Grand Marshal and Chief of Police, Chief Michael Wynn. When are you officially not the Chief of Police anymore?
Technically, after the change of command that'll occur in a couple hours, I'm not the chief of police anymore, but I'm on payroll until Sunday morning.
Okay, so you got that going for you. Now, I saw your post on Facebook yesterday that you cleaned out the car and then you're going to drop the car off after the parade and you need a ride home.
Well, I think that's taken care of. I've got some people joining you a little bit later who will be here when I finish the parade route, so I'll just jump in with them.
Excellent. So how long have you been a cop for?
I've been a police officer for 28 years.
28 years.
And how about Chief?
I'm in my 16th year.
That's what I thought, because when I was working for this Pittsfield, I think I didn't know any other chief.
Yeah, December 1st, 2007, I took command.
So is it bittersweet? I mean, obviously there are things you won't have to deal with anymore, but
I am going to reset my government-issued cell phone and leave it in my cruiser when I go off duty today, and I'm really looking forward to not having that item attached to my hip for the remainder of the summer. But it's the only adult job I've ever had, so I'm a little torn about that. And obviously, PPD is my second family, so I'm not looking forward to not spending time with them.
And how did you feel when you found out you were Grand Marshal?
Honestly, I was kind of conflicted about it. It caused a little bit of logistical strain on the department.
I can imagine.
The team did an amazing job of kind of incorporating that, but people don't think about it, but even though I usually walk in the parade, I count towards the department staffing. And so putting me in a non-operational capacity impacted that, and that has an impact on vacations and seniority, so I was a little hesitant about that. But then, when Peter called me, this isn't, it's not about me, it's about the parade committee. And the parade committee has been a great partner for my entire tenure as the chief. And if that was something they felt strongly about, who was I to say no?
I think that's a story that incorporates your time as chief, where you get this great honor to be the Grand Marshal of the parade, and the first thing you thought about was, how is this going to impact the department?
So I'm very proud of Pittsfield's 4th of July parade. But I'm also very proud of the fact that the Pittsfield Police Department and all of our public safety partners from the fire department and the sheriff's department and all of our mutual aid, we allow the parade committee to offer and deliver this parade without thinking about the things we think about. And so how we staff this parade, how we change just walking in here today, it's Peter and I talked about it. The changes in how we shut down the roads several years ago, we monitor the national and international climate so that the parade committee doesn't have to. And it's the single biggest event of the year for the city, so it's the single biggest headache for the department.
So, Chief, what are you going to miss the most?
Definitely the people and my involvement in training. I think I'm still going to be allowed to come back and conduct some in-service, but I've spent nearly my entire career as a law enforcement trainer. It's one of the things that allowed me to ascend to the position of chief of police, and I don't want to give that up.
And what some people may not know about you is not only you're a police officer, chief of police, but you're a expert jiu-jitsu.
I am far from an expert.
Well, what level belt are you?
So
You're up there now.
I've been training in jiu-jitsu off and on since about 2006 with a long break in the middle. I've been back at it since about 2013. I'm a two-stripe purple belt, which means I get the opportunity and the joy of coaching occasionally, but I am not an expert. I am a amateur student, and I'm learning every day.
Now, I'm sure we're not going to be able to break any news here on the 4th of July parade, but I'm going to give it a shot.
Okay.
What's next for Chief Wynn?
I actually don't know.
Okay.
I'm considering a couple options. I'm looking at a couple things. I do own a training company that I've kind of been ignoring for the last 16 years, and I did a little work for them and added a new client, but I don't have a full-time gig lined up yet.
All right. Well, we'll be on the lookout for that. Thank you for your service for the city of Pittsfield all these years, and thank you for being the Grand Marshal in the parade, and thank you for joining us here on the pre-show.
Thank you. Happy 4th to everybody. Let's have a great parade.
All right. Thanks, Chief.
Greylock Federal Credit Union, proud supporters of the Pittsfield 4th of July Parade. You can see Greylock virtually anytime online at greylock.org. Greylock Federal Credit Union, opportunity grows here. We would also like to thank Be Fair and these generous businesses.
Again, thank you to our underwriters for being a part of the parade coverage, helping us do all we are able to do. And we are about 15 minutes away from the kickoff of the July 4th Parade 2023. And Becky is heading down towards where the merge is going to be on South Street to get us some interviews, so she'll be joining us again in just a few minutes. The rain holding off. We may get some sprinkles here and there throughout the parade, but last night's forecast did not look good. It looked like heavy downpours potentially during the parade. That is not going to be the case unless something drastic changes. So if you are watching on TV right now, first off, we appreciate you watching on TV right now. But if you're watching on TV right now and you're like, maybe I want to go to the parade, you should be fine. Maybe grab an umbrella just in case, but we're not expecting the serious downpours that were potentially in the forecast that we saw last night. So we're going to be getting things started in about 15 minutes from right now. Very excited for the 4th of July Parade, Stars, Stripes, and Smiles. And we've got some very exciting things happening during the parade. We've got some athletes. I'm very excited to see the Taconic basketball team, winners of the state championship in 2023. Just an amazing journey for that team. They're going to be part of the parade today, as well as the Pittsfield Suns. And I understand our newly crowned Little League champions are going to be joining us in the parade as well. So lots of excitement kicking off in about 14 minutes and 22 seconds right now. You can see people lined up down the street getting ready for the parade. The racers have come through, so the race has ended on our end of it. And, you know, this is just actually perfect compared to the weather we had yesterday with the humidity and just how soaking wet it was as you were trying to set things up in the sun. It's certainly, I will definitely take this today over blazing hot, maybe even perfect weather for the 4th of July parade today. And we're counting it down. We're very excited to get this parade going. We're just waiting to hear from Becky on South Street, who's going to be joining us as we see this beautiful overhead shot from atop of 7 North Street. You just see everything out there as the crowd begins to fill in. The crowd was a little later this year. Last year I came, there were chairs all over the place, people apprehensive about the weather. but they know now that the weather should be fine throughout the events. And I understand Becky is ready down on South Street to provide some interviews with some of the folks as we get ready to kick off the 4th of July parade here on PCTV. Becky, how you doing down there?
Really? You're killing me.
And you know what?
All right. Down here at the beginning of the parade, and with me is Rael Gadori. He has multiple hats, but this morning he's for the parade committee, and he's head of the floats. And this year we have quite a few more floats this year. So can you tell me a little bit about the floats and everything?
The float, we have a great group of people who participate in the float department this year. We had fun. It's a hard work.
It is a lot of hard work.
Becky knows that. I took her place.
Rael did replace me when I resigned from the parade committee, but how many float workshops did you have?
We had 18 workshop, 18 float, and everybody was happy to come. Everybody is happy to do it, and we are lucky. We have a nice weather. My goodness, we hope it will go at least till 1 o'clock.
Yes, and then the other hat Rael wears is for RSVP, the Retired Senior Volunteer Program we have for the city, and he was named Volunteer of the Year. So what does that mean to you?
That means I did a lot of volunteer hours. That means I volunteer a lot for Pittsfield, that's for sure. And I'm happy, my wife and I, we are happy to do it. We have to give back to Pittsfield.
And we're happy that you do that for Pittsfield. So thank you so much, Rael, for joining us. Is there anything else you'd like to say?
I just love the 4th of July parade. It's wonderful. It's fun to watch the parade, but it's fun to be involved in the parade, you know. And if some people who's listening now, if you want to get involved, go in our website and we will find a job for you.
Yes, the parade committee is always looking for volunteers, so go to pittsfieldparade.com if you're ever interested. So, let's see, who else should we talk to this morning?
Did you talk to the Grand Marshal?
We have talked to the Grand Marshal.
Okay.
Let's see, who else?
Talk to Sue.
No, she won't want to. Here,
Okay, my dear.
you want to follow me? Thanks, Rael. Would you like to be on camera? Would you like to be on camera? So I have two of our banner carriers here, and they're going carrying the banner for our Grand Marshal Chief Wynn. What is your name?
Lizzie Klepitar.
And what is your name?
Ellen Klepitar.
And how did you get involved in carrying a banner?
Well, we're family friends of Chief Mike Wynn, and he chose us to do it, I guess.
That's great. And what are you looking forward to the most about being a banner carrier?
Just being here to support Mike and walking with him.
Well, that's great. And so the parade committee is always looking for banner carriers as well, so for the parade. So Chief Wynn had two of his people that wanted to do it, so we were lucky to have that.
City councilors?
Oh, yeah, let's go find some city councilors. Thank you, Bo.
Oh my goodness, the roving reporter is here.
So, we have with us Representative Tricia Farley-Bouvier. How are you this morning?
Happy 4th,
Happy
Becky.
4th.
Thank you very much for being here.
Well, thank you for being here. How are you doing?
Well, I'm happy because we are here at the 4th of July parade. It's one of the happiest times in Pittsfield, and I'm really thrilled to always be part of it. Becky, would it be okay if I said a special hello? So I'd like to say hello to Grandma Carolyn. Grandma Carolyn's watching from home today, and she's very, very excited about watching the parade. And we're really happy to be able to say a special hello.
And what are you looking forward to this year?
Well, my favorite part of this parade, besides all the pomp and circumstances, is that I can see families year after year pretty much sitting in the same spot And some of them are friends I've known my whole life. Some of them I've known just, from my position. But it's really great to see the family traditions happening year after year.
It sure is. When I arrived and when I was on the committee too, when we arrived here early, there's already many chairs lined up and down the streets here in Pittsfield.
And the clouds are here, but the smiles are here too. So people seem undaunted. So
the spirits never dampen with the weather here. Memories on Facebook popped up this morning from 9 years ago when we had the torrential downpours, but there were so many smiles on our faces, so the rain never dampens it.
And my comment on that, mine popped up too, and it said, incredible crowd here, at the 4th of July parade in those torrential downpours. So you're absolutely right. This is nothing.
The support never fades. So
thanks, Becky.
Let's
Appreciate
see.
you very much.
Thank you. Appreciate you. Any other?
It's Ricky's here.
Ricky, how are you?
How you doing?
Good. How are you? What are you looking forward to today?
I want to walk without a counselor today.
You're gonna walk with the counselors? That's great.
Yeah.
Is that what you're looking forward to the most?
Yeah. Then after that, I'm going out for a cookout over Santino's house.
That's great. Today's a great day for cookouts too. Awesome. Well, thank you, Counselor Sherman.
Hey, Becky.
How are you?
How are you?
How are you?
Wonderful.
What are you looking forward to today?
All these beautiful smiling faces. It's always a great day
great.
in Pittsfield on the 4th of July. So
It sure
the rain's
is.
holding up. Thank you for all you do.
Oh, thank you. Counselor Kalinowski?
Hello.
How are you?
Good, doing
Happy
good.
4th. What are you
Happy
looking
4th.
forward to today?
I like the whole thing from the running race that already ended. Seeing some of the same runners for many years.
Definitely.
A few times I ran.
Yeah.
I love the floats. I went by General Dynamics on the way over here, and it brought back memories of the old GE floats.
Oh, yes.
It's a nice one, so look out for that one.
Yeah,
'Cause
definitely.
that one looks good and just
great.
Marching along, and this is an excellent parade, and it's my 60th year of being part of it.
Wow, good for you. Good for you. Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
Thank you, Becky.
All right. Are we good for Pete?
I'm sorry.
Yeah. Where's Mr. Marchetti? Have we seen him? Oh, there he is. We found Pete. Good morning, Pete. We have Marchetti here, the president of the Pittsfield Parade Committee. Good morning, Pete. Happy 4th.
Happy 4th to you, too.
How are you doing this morning?
We are doing just fine and dandy. We're hoping this weather holds out for a little bit longer, and we're ready to put on a parade.
How did this all come together this year? This seems like a bigger parade, more music, more floats. How did this come to be this year?
So the floats, the community just kept coming back and saying, hey, we want to do a float, it's the community. And then, the musical units we're trying to build back after COVID, trying to get as many as we can.
So what are some of the new musical units we should be looking out for this year?
So we're actually making a change in the lineup because of the weather was fairly early, because we want to make sure they get down on the street before it rains. Old Fat Jazz Band, they're a New Orleans style jazz band. They were one of the bands that performed in the concert last night, and I think they're going to knock people's socks off.
That's great. We're really looking forward to it. Anything else you would like to say this morning?
Keep your fingers crossed for a little bit more sunshine.
All right. Well, thank
Happy
you so
4th.
much. All right. Thank you so much, everybody. Are we good to send it back to Bob? No? Just find somebody.
I guess we're having technical issues down there, and seems funny that it happened as soon as Becky said, are we good to send it back to Bob? But we got an opportunity to talk with some of the volunteers of the Pittsfield Parade Committee. That's what makes this parade even more incredible. We're back. I guess we're set to send back to Becky.
All right, so I'm here with Wild Knowles, and he's been at years now. Can you tell me about what it means to you to continue to participate in this tradition?
So it was a quiz. No, it's great to be a part of the parade. Going on so long, and it just means a lot to be a part of it. And
We're still having some technical difficulties. We worked on that camera for a good solid hour and a half yesterday, trying to get that thing going. But we got a lot down there from South Street, and Becky will be back joining us in just a little bit. And the weather's holding out. We're in great shape for the 4th of July parade, starting in about 3 minutes from right now. And as I was saying, the Pittsfield Parade Committee, entirely a volunteer committee. Nobody makes any money off of that. And of course, the PCTV crew, pretty much staff and volunteer run here as well. So it takes a lot of people and a lot of people's free time to make this parade happen. So we definitely thank you for tuning in and being a part of this parade. We definitely thank the Pittsfield Parade Committee. And, you know, there's a lot of time that goes into the race. There's a lot of manpower that goes into shutting down the streets and making sure everything's okay and making sure the parade route is secure. So all the men and women that make this parade possible, we certainly thank you. And absolutely, as we got 2.5 minutes to go, as we look at some of the families gathering, many claim their spots at midnight as soon as the parking closes on South Street and North Street in Pittsfield. Many families in the same spots they've been for many, many years, partaking and watching the Pittsfield 4th of July parade. And we're so thrilled it's back. Last year, of course, the first year back after missing a couple of years because of COVID. And it's just so thrilling to be a part of it. And the weather appears to be holding off. I just took a glance at the radar, and we might have some drizzle popping in, but nothing as significant as was being potentially predicted yesterday as far as weather for the 4th of July parade. So there's still time to come on out and watch the parade. If you're sitting there at home on the fence thinking about the forecast, you should be fine. So come on out here and be a part of the 4th of July parade. Kicking off in about 1.5 minutes. There's that beautiful shot of cloudy downtown Pittsfield as the shot comes from 7 North Street heading down South Street, where the parade is going to be kicking off in just a little bit. People still arriving for the 4th of July parade. It's starting to get busy here on the band shell. And we just can't wait. Peter Marchetti talked about some of the new bands that will be joining us this year. We do understand the Mummers will be joining us earlier than anticipated here in the parade because of potential weather issues. Obviously, they have a significant financial investment in their equipment. So they want to make sure that investment is secure and get through the parade route as soon as possible, just in case any flurries do pop up. Some folks prepared with umbrellas, but we haven't needed them since a little before 9:10, which is probably the perfect time for the runners as they were running the race. It's getting a little soupy out here, so I'm sure the runners appreciated a little rain as they were rolling through. And boy, we saw costumes, we saw people with children on strollers, music playing. But folks, it is time. The 4th of July Parade 2023, Stars, Stripes, and Smiles, starts right now.
Welcome to Pittsfield Community Television's annual coverage of the Pittsfield 4th of July Parade, live from Park Square in Pittsfield, Massachusetts. PCTV, Pittsfield's community access television and broadcast radio organization, is proud to celebrate the 35th anniversary of this beloved tradition of local coverage of our hometown parade, established on July 4th, 1988. Our staff and community volunteers, then as now, are dedicated to bringing this fine live event to you in your home. Your hosts for today's coverage are Pittsfield Community Television's Bob Heck and Berkshire Community College's Rebecca Manship. We would like to take a moment to recognize our gracious underwriters, without whom programs like this would not be possible. Thank you to our Stars underwriter, Greylock Federal Credit Union, whose devotion to local programming and events in Berkshire County goes to show that at Greylock, opportunity grows here. For more information about their many services, visit them online at www.greylock.org. Thanks also to our Stripes underwriters, which include Berkshire Community College, Fair, and Berkshire Bank. Thanks also to these forever underwriters. This year's parade theme is Stars, Stripes, and Smiles in the Berkshires, and will feature over 160 units, including tall balloons, beautiful floats, talented bands, local dignitaries, and plenty of parade excitement. And now, your hosts, Bob Heck and Becky Manship.
Happy 4th of July, everybody, and welcome to the Pittsfield 4th of July Parade. My name is Bob Heck, and Rebecca Manship will be joining us in just a little bit. We're just about set to kick off the parade, and it's time to turn things over for our national anthem. Here's Zoe Cahill.
Oh, sing, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Zoe Cahill on the national anthem, and that means we are ready to start the 4th of July Parade. Bob Heck here with Becky Manship, and we hear the police cars in the distance. It won't be long now before the parade is officially en route, and we'll have all the coverage here on PCTV. You'll see every float, you'll see every banner, you'll see everything here on Pittsfield Community Television. Thank you so much for joining us today here on Access Pittsfield 1301, on Facebook, on YouTube, and on PCTV Select One, and a variety of cable access providers throughout Massachusetts and New England who have picked up our coverage of the area's oldest parade, the Pittsfield 4th of July Parade. Now, I understand we're going to have a very special presentation once Chief Wynn comes down here, our Grand Marshal, as we see the Pittsfield Police motorcycles in view now. And as you're further along down the parade route, it's always comforting to hear the police vehicles, because now you know they're on the way. Pittsfield Police motorcycles. Waiting for the rest of the group to catch up to them. And away they go. And away we go. As the rest of the vehicles make their way through the Pittsfield Police Honor Guard. And there's Chief Wynn right there.
Okay, there's Chief Wynn. We're about to see a special moment here.
The official transition from chief to chief. Acting Chief Thomas Dolly will officially become acting chief in just a moment as the honor guard. And it's an official passing of the baton.
Oh my gosh.
Just an unbelievable moment.
PPD Unit 1 win to headquarters. Close operational period 2007-1201. Open operational period 2023-0704. Chief Dolly has command.
Unit 1 Dolly, dispatch. Chief Dolly now has command.
Chief Wynn is signed off, and Chief Dolly has officially signed on. Certainly want to thank Chief Wynn as she hugs Mayor Tyre.
And there's his wife, Christina.
Actually had the opportunity to DJ their wedding.
Oh, that was fun, I'm sure. Oh.
The family just taking a moment here. And for what Chief Wynn has done for our community, they can take as much time as they need.
I know. I've got tears in my eyes because working for the city for so long, before I went to BCC recently, I worked with Chief Wynn, and it's been an honor and a pleasure to work with him, and what a moment.
The emotion of this moment, you could see it on Chief Wynn's face. Thank you, Chief Wynn, for your service to the city of Pittsfield.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. What an incredible moment we just saw.
Chief composing himself. He's good, let's go.
All right, we're ready to roll. And there's Wild Bill Knowles with the pace car. Pittsfield welcomes back Bertha, the 2003 Chevrolet SSR, to lead the parade. This year's theme, Stars, Stripes, and Smiles, celebrates Bertha's 20th birthday. And there's the Berkshire Gas banner.
Just a beautiful vehicle.
It is. He specially rigged all of those flags on the back.
And here is the Pittsfield High School Band. We welcome the Pittsfield High School Band under the direction of band director Ashley Paredes.
Let's take a listen. Here's the James E. Callahan, Berkshire County Chapter 65 Vietnam Veterans of America. The James E. Callahan Vietnam Veterans Chapter 65 is being represented by the Color Guard and a vehicle for the veterans who are unable to march. And they do a great job putting on the memorial ceremonies for multiple veteran events here throughout the year in Pittsfield.
And here comes the 2022 Veteran of the Year, Robert Garrity. He's driving his 1947 Willys Jeep, served in the Marine Corps from 1957 to 1962. He was stationed in Puerto Rico and Cuba during the Cuban conflict. Next, Garrity is active in decorating the veterans' graves for Memorial Day, and an active volunteer for Toys for Tots and volunteers at the Habitat for Humanity Restore. He's been married for 60 years coming up this August, 5 children, 10 grandchildren, and 4 great-grandchildren. We thank him for his service.
We sure do. And this is the Marine Corps League Detachment 137 float. The Marine Corps League Detachment 137 have with them today the patriotic float that includes a 1947 Jeep with a 3 flag display. It's coming up shortly, a little behind. And featuring the 99-year-old World War II Marine veteran Don Seckler and their color guard.
Amazing. And here comes the Veterans of Foreign War Post 448. Getting a nice warm welcome as they walk through.
And that's a replica of the memorial that you can see in Veterans Park on South Street Memorial Park.
Here's post 68. Of the American Legion.
Benjamin Sullivan, post number 155. So the Dalton American Legion Post 155 has a marching unit organized by Commander Bob Dassett. They perform military honor guards, display of flags with rifle volleys at ceremonies for veteran families. On September 14th through the 18th, the Vietnam Moving Wall will be on display at the Legion Post, North Street, Dalton, Mass. Please go and witness this event.
And here comes Soldier On, marching behind their van, their banner anyway, and the van has other veterans riding who are unable to walk the parade route, but they're in the van so they can have the same experience.
And Soldier On does a great number of services for our veterans here in the community, for sure.
A large contingent for Soldier On.
And here's the General Dynamics banner, followed by the General Dynamics contingent. I think there's a little bit more of Soldier On too, because General Dynamics, let's see, their employees, together with employees from Soldier On and Unistress, will march alongside the veterans to celebrate Independence Day. And then their float will follow shortly behind them.
Now, I understand you got a sneak preview of the float this morning.
I sure did. So on my way in to come to get here early, I was stuck behind their float on East Housatonic Street while they were trying to figure out the best route to get to South Street to line up for the parade. So I have seen this float, but they did enhance it this year. Featuring, so it is the Scaled Littoral Combat Ship, so that's LCS for short, if you didn't know that. But the new little feature this year is a USS Columbia-class submarine. So they modified it to fit this year's theme, which is exciting. Stars, Stripes, and Smiles in the Berkshires.
And it's coming into view here.
So they have won a lot of different float awards in the years past, and it's just a great float. Worked really hard on it. Floats take so long to work on and get right, and that's just incredible workmanship by our friends at GD.
Oh yeah, they're hard to build, they're hard to store, they're hard to drive.
Yes. Well, they have big bays at GD, so maybe they were
Yeah,
able to
they've got the
construct and
advantage.
store them there. Oh, they even have the Pittsfield, the Heart of the Berkshires little flag, or the little logo in there. That's great. Those are some new additions this year too, so that's great. Some of their employees I know my husband works at GD as well. Several family members, so GD is one of the largest employers here in Pittsfield.
And that is the 1951 Dodge M37, driven by Jim Curry. It's a 3/4-ton pickup truck with the Army markings. Just a beautiful vehicle.
That sure is. And the Massachusetts State Police is following right there behind them with a couple of their cruisers.
I'm used to seeing those lights behind me.
You get stopped frequently, Bob. Is that what you're telling me?
I have a need. I have a need for speed, and the Massachusetts State Police do not share my vision on that.
And behind them, I hear the sounds of the Ghent Band from Ghent, New York. I know things are a little slowed here in the line of march, but we do hear the band coming into place here. So there they are. The Ghent Band has carried the rhythm and melody of the Ghent Township for 124 years. Most town bands have gone the way of the telegraph, but the Ghent Band's devoted members and the love and support of the Ghenties have kept them loud and proud. Let's take a listen. Patriot, the New England Patriots mascot. So fun. And a couple of cheerleaders, too, with him. How did the parade get them? That's what I want to know.
Pat Patriot, the New England Patriots mascot, of course. And you'll see coming into the shot, the cheerleaders are in a 1967 Plymouth Belvedere. And that won 3rd place for most outstanding vehicle.
And then here we have City of Pittsfield. We have representation from Mayor Linda Tyre. We have our city clerk, Michelle Benjamin. There's Mayor Tyre and her husband, Barry. And then we have members of the Pittsfield Council. There's Michelle on the far right, Dina, and Patrick Keevy, Errol Persip, Kenny Waring, Councilor Kalinowski, and Kevin Sherman round out. Of course, President Marchetti and Vice President White are also on the council, but they are committed volunteer members, so they will not be marching today.
And here comes the Berkshire delegation. State Senator Paul Marks, State Representative Tricia Farley-Bouvier, who you had the opportunity to talk with before the broadcast, and State Representative Smitty Pignatelli.
They've been a great delegation who have gotten funding for a lot of projects here in Pittsfield and the Berkshires.
And here comes the Berkshire County Sheriff's Office. Of course, Berkshire County Sheriff Tom Bowler has the motorcycle unit, cruisers, and honor guard with him today.
There's the honor guard itself. And there's Sheriff Bowler right there on the right-hand side. And he's been the Grand Marshal of the Halloween Parade here in Pittsfield for the number of years he's been sheriff, and he always has a great contingent for that parade as well. So we thank Sheriff Bowler for his continued support of both parades.
And here comes Berkshire County Register of Deeds, Patsy Harris.
And she's been in office quite some time too. So we have some great elected officials here in Pittsfield and the county. And coming up,
Sheriff's Office van is making their way through. Register of Deeds banner, and of course, Patsy Harris.
Oh boy, here we go,
Oh
Bob.
boy, here we go.
A parade favorite, maybe? Miss Cookie Crumble. Miss Cookie Crumble entertaining thousands in Berkshire County and beyond, bringing joy, smiles, laughter, surprises, hysteria, and more to suspecting and unsuspecting guests and audiences. For decades, she's traveled to far lands, entertained royalty, presidents, celebrities, politicians, corporations, even NASA. Really? NASA? Miss Crumple's outfit, vintage 1986, sewn by the famous designing duo Polly and Esther Glenn, and shoes by Souls R Us. This is her 30th year in Pittsfield's 4th of July parade, yet she doesn't look a day over 29. I can't believe that.
She's got her bodyguards with her.
Look at her Secret Service there.
Who are the bodyguards protecting? Are they protecting her or are they protecting us?
I think they're protecting us.
As we get a great look of some of the folks here watching the parade, and we thank you for tuning in all throughout Berkshire County and worldwide on PCTV Select 1, the Pittsfield Community Television Facebook page, and the Pittsfield Community Television YouTube page is Uncle Sam.
And it looks like it's beginning to sprinkle it a little bit, but yet there's still quite a few smiles. So since the weather is a little bit of a player today, we are skipping ahead in the order to fit the Greater Kensington String Band to come down the street, also known as the Mummers, right, Bob?
Yeah, you can kind of see them. They're not quite in the shot yet, but you see them from that beautiful shot atop 7 North Street in Pittsfield. They had a great performance last night with the WOFAT band that we'll see a little later as well.
Definitely looking forward to the WOFAT band.
Now, the Greater Kensington String Band was formed in 1944, paraded for the first time in 1946. The Philadelphia Mummers Parade, the nation's oldest continual folk parade. They've paraded continuously since then. They've got 2 first prize finishes with 1979's presentation Oz Odyssey and 1988's Go for Baroque. The band finished in 8th place this year with a Monopoly theme titled It's Go Time. They're led by Captain Sean Blubaugh, who's been the captain since 2019. Let's listen in on these tremendous musicians.
Getting the crowd going here.
Monopoly-themed outfits are amazing.
I love it. Love, love, love it. So this is the Pittsfield Fire Department led by Chief Thomas Sammons. They bring their honor guard, followed by Chief and all of their proud members. They have their newest engine, a 2022 Pierce Enforcer, and the 2008 Pierce Tower Ladder. So the fire department has a little bit more of an involvement with the parade than just marching in it. So the fire inspectors help the parade committee, especially the float subcommittee, run the float workshops to make sure all the floats are safe and up to par, so nothing happens during the parade. So they go down the street, and then they inspect them the morning of the parade just to double check everything. So they're great partners of the parade.
We, of course, thank them for their service as firefighters and for what they've done to help the parade along.
And then we have a City of Pittsfield tractor, which is driven by my good friend, co-worker for many years when I worked for the City of Pittsfield, Jamie Gardner. He's from the Parks Department. So he just wanted to participate in the parade, and Ricardo said, go ahead. So he's having a little fun. People and kids see him all around the parks, mowing and everything. So he's a hard worker for the City of Pittsfield. So when you're out and about, say hello to Jamie and give him a big wave and that you saw him in the parade. That looks like a brand spanking new, shiny John Deere right there Jamie's on.
And here are your state champions, the Taconic Thunder boys high school basketball team. Just a thrilling run through the playoffs, culminating in a victory at the state championship game, just won by a couple of points. We see Tavon Sandifer, Mo Bamba, Jaden McCartney. There's Big Country, Cam McKillop.
Kyle McGrath is up there as well, I see. I worked with his dad, Jim, for the city for quite some time. These guys worked hard this year, did a great job.
Some of the coaching staff right there. And here comes Miss Massachusetts, Chelsea Vuong. We're proud to have this year's Miss Massachusetts, Chelsea Vuong, join the Pittsfield Parade as one of her first official acts since winning on June 26th. As a member of Harvard's class of 2021, she earned a BS in economics with a minor in global health and health policy. Currently, she works at McKinsey & Company as a business analyst. Her new podcast, The Currency Coach, interviews current and retired NFL players about their financial journeys to help others gain a better understanding of financial literacy. She created a nonprofit, Financial Mile, to teach financial literacy to undergraduate students in Cambridge. In her role as Miss Massachusetts, Vuong will expand this initiative.
And there's Catherine Winston. She's a special guest to this year's parade, as she was an American Idol 2015 semi-finalist. And if you've ever watched those kind of shows, it's a grueling competition.
And from time to time, she'll play a show around the Berkshires. Had the opportunity to see her perform once. She's, as advertised, absolutely amazing.
That's great. Great. I haven't had the pleasure of hearing her perform live yet, but hope to someday. And it looks like the Pittsfield Public Schools are coming down the way. A little bit out of order, but that's okay. It happens.
Now this is the most outstanding float in the parade. The Pittsfield Bus Operations Float.
All right. Can't wait to see it.
It's titled Miles of Smiles in the Berkshires. It was made by the staff at Bus Operations. The Pittsfield School Department is pleased to enter this year's float depicting stars, stripes, and smiles. You'll see large stars, an American eagle, and fireworks. I would assume not real fireworks.
Right.
Each window on the bus has a picture of children smiling and having fun. And we get some patriotic music to go along with it. So we see the kids walking with the banner.
It's great to see the Pittsfield Public Schools return to the parade.
That's amazing.
That's definitely wonderful. Oh, look at all those children smiling, that's for sure. Great job, Pittsfield Public Schools. Public Schools vehicle as well.
Decked out for the holiday.
Yes.
And they're using, I don't know if you noticed on the way in, but they're using Pittsfield buses to block traffic. I figure that's a great way to use those vehicles here in the off-season.
Yes, they're using the buses, they're using one-ton city highway vehicles and everything like that too. So here's a Hinsdale Days Committee float. They've been participating with the 4th of July parade for many years. This float consists of red, white, and blue decor in forms of banners, eagles, and ribbons, along with stars that contain pictures of Berkshire County places. The marchers are dressed in smile costumes. We do see the smiling t-shirts. Can't wait to see the float when it comes up a little bit further. I see a giant bunny head that's smiling. Oh, are those Arthur characters?
They are. Arthur, D.W., and Buster characters.
Yes. So they're following right behind Hinsdale Days.
My kids have aged out of Arthur, but I definitely got plenty of Arthur time in.
Yep, I
as they
remember
were
watching.
growing up.
I remember watching Arthur some growing up. That's for sure.
And here comes Youth Alive. They'll march with 20 to 25 adolescent members and 5 adults from the dance team and members of the mentoring program ROPE, which is Rites of Passage and Empowerment. 3 or 4 drummers will accompany the group, and a vehicle will follow with the founder.
Shirley Edgerton is the founder of Youth Alive. And her son Jerome is the one leading the drummers. So let's take a listen.
Passionate about everything he does. He's also the boys' high school basketball coach for Pittsfield High. We're going to take a short time out, acknowledge some underwriters, but we will keep an eye on the parade.
Greylock Federal Credit Union, proud supporters of the Pittsfield 4th of July Parade. You can see Greylock virtually anytime online at greylock.org. Greylock Federal Credit Union, opportunity grows here. We would also like to thank Berkshire Community College and Berkshire Bank.
We saw the Breen Center pass on by.
Now here comes Oster the Grouch in a patriotic drum balloon.
That doesn't seem like something Oscar the Grouch would want to be in.
No, I think he would be really ouchy grouchy
Yeah, I
about
don't think he'd be-
participating and getting up early on
I know,
a
I don't think he'd like
holiday.
any of that.
I don't think so. Because he likes his trash can too.
I know.
And he's out of that. So this year you'll notice a little something different, everybody. So these are cold air balloons. So we do not have helium balloons this year because there is a helium shortage and helium is vastly expensive. But don't be fooled. These balloons cost a pretty penny too. So the parade does need every penny. Oh, Oscar is taking a nap.
Here's the dip. He doesn't want to be on camera.
He's just taking a quick snooze so he can fit under the traffic lights. The balloon handlers get a quick training when they arrive in the morning on how to handle the balloons as well.
As we take a look down South Street, seeing all the incredible things that are coming up here on the 4th of July parade. And here comes 413 Cheer with Gym Fest Gymnastics. They'll have athletes marching and doing small performances as the crowd always asks them to do something. And I'm sure they are more than happy to oblige. Here we go.
Since I was the smallest growing up and I tried my hand at cheerleading, they wanted me to do the pyramid type stuff, and I was really afraid to do that because I didn't want to go flying.
Did you overcome that fear, or was that your end of your cheerleading career?
That was the end of my cheerleading career. I tried basketball and everything like that, but more power to these wonderful cheerleaders for taking that bravery.
Absolutely. You have to have a lot of trust as a cheerleader.
Sure do.
Especially if you're at the top of the pyramid.
Yes, for sure.
Great performance there, girls. Thank you for that. And here comes the Cheshire Fire Department. Cheshire Fire Department out of Cheshire, Mass. Bring a sampling of its present-day fire apparatus led by its restored 1935 Diamond T, which has been retired to a parade status truck.
That's pretty cool looking truck there. Very small. There's an accordion player on top of that truck.
Back in the day, I'm sure it was very effective at fighting fires. Although, I don't think you'd want to see that rolling towards your house now if you needed it. But it's beautiful to look at.
Definitely. Some of those structure fires nowadays, they definitely need the tower trucks.
See another more recent truck there.
Got some bubbles blowing. All right, so now we have the J-Star Athletics. J-Star Athletics is the longest standing all-star cheerleading program in the Berkshire. Their ages range from 3 to 18 years old.
3 to 18 years old, huh?
3 is definitely pretty young for starting athletics.
Waving as they make their way through.
People walk you through a step by step like an new kid, inch by inch with the new solution.
More on the truck there.
Oh, here we go.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Dip 1, 2, dip 3, 4, dip 5, 6, 7, 8. Hit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That one. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Hit 1.
Spotters have a most important job, for sure.
Absolutely.
Especially at pavement like this.
J-Star Athletics.
This is not the normal Norman Rockwell Museum thing we see. We usually see Norman Rockwell on the back of a pickup truck. What do we have here, Bob?
We have Morton the Sea Monster, who was born in the Berkshires in the 1930s. He's traveled the world. It's a friendly sea monster that's living at the Norman Rockwell Museum through the end of October. Morton was originally created by Tony Sang, who pioneered the Macy's Thanksgiving Parade balloons and whose curiosity shop on Nantucket delighted island visitors.
Wow. Look at that mouth.
Yeah, apparently he's friendly.
Doesn't look it.
No, I would not like to be face to face with
No.
Morton the Sea Monster, but I will absolutely take the Norman Rockwell Museum's word for it.
Right?
Morton is perfectly harmless.
Oh my goodness. Well, here we go. Here's the Pittsfield Little League National Division champs from Parkside.
On their decked out vehicle. I won't encourage them to throw candy like I did last year, Becky.
No, you saved me last year. I almost got knocked out by some bubble gum that was being chucked at us by, I would assume, the pitcher.
Someone with an arm. Someone with an arm for sure.
Bob was
Congratulations
my
to
hero.
Parkside.
Yes, congratulations to Parkside. Little League is still going strong.
And here comes Stephen Valenti. He's driving his 1973 Datsun 240Z.
That doesn't look like Steve driving.
He's
That
in the
looks like
passenger
his
seat.
son.
Yes.
Yeah. Right. Who do we have now?
The Mass Hire Berkshire Career Center. Their unit is made up of Mass Hire staff and youth program participants. They're wearing white shirts with blue stars, red star sunglasses, and matching striped baseball caps. They're playing work-related music like Taking Care of Business, 9 to 5, and She Works Hard for the Money. Songs you might be hearing in England today because they have to work today.
Oh, yes. I don't think they would like that reminder, Bob.
I've seen that meme pop up on Facebook a few
Yeah,
times.
and there's the RSVP van that just went by. RSVP, the Retired Senior Volunteer Program, has been proudly sponsored by the City of Pittsfield for 50 years. The goal and mission of RSVP is to meet unmet human, educational, environmental, and public safety needs in the community, utilizing the skills and experience of volunteers who are age 55 and up. We have 57 stations throughout the county, 269 active volunteers in 2022 for a combined 32,628 hours.
And here's the Philmont, New York 1860 hose truck. It's been restored by the Philmont Fire Company from Philmont, New York.
That's been in the parade, a long-standing tradition in our parade for quite some time, so happy to have them back each year.
So cool to see how the firefighting has evolved over the years.
Yes.
And here are the EMS automotive floats. We have an eagle on there? We do.
Yeah, looks like we have an eagle.
Tricked out motorcycle
Uncle
with
Sam.
Uncle Sam. Tow truck towing a replica flag.
So it looks like coming down the street, can hear them, the Samba Novo Band from Brooklyn, New York. The Samba Novo Brazilian Band have 4 samba dancers, 6 samba drummers, and 2 jumbies in traditional costuming. Let's take a listen. Their costuming is great. The headdresses must be very heavy.
big
Never.
smiles on their faces.
It's upbeat, positive music.
Absolutely.
And here's one of my favorites, the Moodus Drum and Fife from Moodus, Connecticut. Organized in 1821 and incorporated in 1860, Moodus strives to maintain an original style and authentic pieces. They play on rope tension drums accompanied by fifes and led by their colors. They are the oldest no-stopping drum corps, and they are the only drum and fife corps. Let's take a listen.
Alert Hose Company number 1. They were formed in 1876 as the all-volunteer fire company of Adams. The Alerts adopted the turn-of-the-century Prince Albert-style buff and white uniforms. This rare uniform style and their 1885 hose cart have been preserved by the company as a memorial to its predecessors and are displayed proudly by the members of Alerts today.
There's a great shot of the parade coming down the street. And coming down the street next is Terpsichore Dance Center.
Is that the sun trying to come out?
Possibly. So Terpsichore Dance Center, they're carrying their banner and performing a dance. So let's look to see what dance they're performing.
Probably expand my earlier statement. You never see anyone dancing that's having a bad time.
Right.
In general.
All right, it's official. The sun's out.
Yes. Look at him go. Absolutely. Thank you for that. And now we welcome the Boys and Girls Club of the Berkshires Youth of the Year. The Boys and Girls Club Youth of the Year is Caleb Pepra. Caleb graduated from Taconic High School this year. Two-sport varsity athlete in soccer and track and field. He was inducted into the National Honor Society in 2023. Caleb has a moral compass that has been shaped by family values and Ghanaian culture. He's led with authenticity and care in his work with the youth at the Boys and Girls Club.
Closely behind him is the Gladys Allen Brigham Community Center Youth of the Year. Darren Arulo is their Youth of the Year.
now we have the Berkshire Family YMCA Youth of the Year, Sheila Alexander. She's a great addition to the BFYMCA family and has built great relationships with students, parents, and staff as well. She's an assistant group leader for the school age program. She's also assisted the Kids Night Out program and always shows up willing to work and has a smile on her face. She models the core values of the YMCA. And we see the smile balloon as well. And with that, we're going to keep an eye on the parade and acknowledge some of our underwriters.
Greylock Federal Credit Union, proud supporters of the Pittsfield 4th of July Parade. You can see Greylock virtually anytime online at greylock.org. Greylock Federal Credit Union, opportunity grows here. We would also like to thank Be Fair and these generous businesses.
Saw the Berkshire Concrete Corp vehicle roll on by. And now we have Berkshire County Cars and Coffee. They're a local car group, and they join us with their decorated vehicles and a decorated landscape trailer. That's quite an array of vehicles they have.
Sure is. Let's see, it looks like 1, 2, 6, 7, 8, at least 8. Like 2 by 2. And I see a familiar face coming down the street with Ronaldo and the Berkshire Fatherhood Coalition. Of course, we'll take a look at the motorcycle. Here's the Berkshire Fatherhood Coalition. They first appeared in the 4th of July Parade in 2003. For 20 years, the Fatherhood Coalition has been saying kids need their dads.
We see a marionette at the end.
Oh, yes.
It's a horse.
Happy Independence Day.
There's some cheers down the street. Or there's some cartwheels going on that we don't know about yet.
Yeah, here comes the Dalton Fire Department. They're marching the parade with 15 members and 4 vehicles. They were formed in 1899 and has served the Berkshire since. They protect and serve with pride and inclusion. They take pride in being involved in their community and all that they serve.
Did I just see their interim chief is Chief Serwinski? He's back?
That is correct.
Here we go. Here's the cartwheelers. I feel a cartwheel coming on. Oh, just outside the camera. The infamous, notorious cartwheelers. Always a crowd favorite. Here we go. Pumping up the crowd.
Pumping up the crowd, getting ready for another cartwheel.
All right, here we go. Here we go.
There it is.
Woo! Just caught himself. All right.
I could do exactly 0 of those.
Same. Always a fun tradition for them. They love being involved in the community for sure.
We see their ambulance come through. I hear some music coming, Becky.
I think I hear more fife and drums, actually, Bob. What do we have?
This is the Adamsville Ancients Fife and Drum from Delmar, New York. They were established in 1988 and proud to be celebrating 35 years providing early American music to the greater Albany, New York area. They march in numerous weekend and holiday parades during the summer months and have won numerous awards at these parades. Let's take a listen.
Services. Malari Employment and Healthcare is here celebrating 40 years of putting people first. Founded by Gail and Richard Malari in 1983, Malari has been caring for your loved ones and neighbors in their homes and matching great people to great job opportunities. Malari remains committed to the Berkshire community and looks forward to many more years of serving all of you. Now here's a fan favorite, Pittsfield Suns baseball. It's a small snippet of this year's team. Do you know their record right now, Bob?
Not off the top of my head, but I know they have a game tonight. I see Jackson, their bat boy.
And fireworks after the game
Fireworks
if the weather
after the
holds.
game.
Let's hope the weather holds. They've been having quite a few rainouts lately that have to be rescheduled.
Oh, we got a cartwheel from the Suns.
All right.
And here comes the American Red Cross. Their entry consists of one Red Cross disaster vehicle. The marchers are members of the Disaster Action Team and are wearing their responder vests. The American Red Cross just does incredible work everywhere and throughout the Berkshires. You know, whenever there's a fire, you always hear about them helping. And
here's Lanesboro Local. Sorry, Bob. A 1955 Ford truck holds a sign for the Lanesboro Local Country Store. Guitarist in the back is playing the Jimi Hendrix version of the Star Spangled Banner. Can we hear it? Let's see. Here we go.
here comes the Berkshire Force. You always see them around all over the summer. They're always heading to the big national tournaments. It's a tremendous program the Berkshire Force has built here in the Berkshires.
And Berkshire Force is actually part of the Pittsfield Girls Softball Organization. So this is their travel teams, and they do a phenomenal job and always are in the competition, thick of it. So we're very proud of them.
And here we have the West Stockbridge Fire Department with its engines and marchers and a Dalmatian. Steve Traver, the chief of the department.
I don't think he'll do a cartwheel.
No, I bet that Dalmatian outfit was a great idea an hour ago when it was still on the chillier side.
Right, now that the sun's out, it's definitely warming up. Warming up quickly. Here's some more music, Bob. Sounds like Generation X. They're with Lee Bank, who's bringing us Generation X performing for the spectators.
A large marching contingent.
Didn't they just open the brand new big branch here in Pittsfield down the street from us?
Absolutely.
So they have a lot to celebrate. So once Generation X gets a little closer, we'll take a listen.
Matching tie-dye shirts.
Love to see all the patriotism.
And here comes
Generation X.
Generation X rock.
Here we go. Let's take a listen. And here's Laborers Local 473. The Laborers Local 473 is representative by active and retired members, as well as their children and grandchildren.
There they are right there. And here comes the Berkshire Eagle.
They're well prepared today, although
Yeah.
now the sun's out.
Well, it protects you from the sun
Yes.
as well. I wish I had an umbrella behind me.
Yeah.
My back's getting nailed by the sun.
Same. But look at those newspaper dresses and skirts. That's very festive. And a shirt, too.
And they've been a part of the Berkshire since 1789 when it began as the Western Star in Stockbridge. The newspaper continues to bring you daily news in print and online, and expects to be here with your daily news well into the future.
All right, here's Richmond Fire Department with Chief Steve Traver. Attending today's parade, the fire department has several trucks and members of the department marching in their uniforms.
And as those beautiful fire trucks head on through, we'll keep an eye on the parade. We'll acknowledge some of our underwriters here on the 4th of July parade on PCTV.
Greylock Federal Credit Union, proud supporters of the Pittsfield 4th of July Parade. You can see Greylock virtually anytime online at greylock.org. Greylock Federal Credit Union, opportunity grows here. We would also like to thank Berkshire Community College and Berkshire Bank.
Back here at the 4th of July parade, a great shot of the now sunny downtown Pittsfield as Ready, Set, Play and Ready, Set, Learn banners head on by.
Hear more music. What do we got, Bob, coming up?
Well, in just a moment, we'll see Past Tense. They're a band that plays cover music based around 70s classic rock. Although I think this is shipping up to Boston.
I know, I was gonna say. You always know when this is coming up just by the Donna. All right, and now, how fitting that it's my turn to do Berkshire Community College. I just began working there. Berkshire Community College has a cohort of marchers, including Burke the Falcon, our mascot, and they're led by our banner. Ellen Kennedy is the college's president. Let me see if I can see Ellen in there.
Yeah, there she is.
Yep, there's Ellen. She's in the salmon-colored pants. And BCC, did you know this, Bob? BCC was the first community college established by the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. Today, there are 15 community colleges in the state. Hi, BCC!
And And right behind them is Berkshire United Way. They bring some more board members, friends, and family of staff. And you see Tom Bernard there. PCTV has had a great relationship with the Berkshire United Way.
Berkshire United Way has a great relationship with everybody in Berkshire County. So now we have the Irish American Club of Berkshire County. They are represented by its president, Kevin Cahill. The club offers language and history lessons as well as dance lessons for both adults and children. Their goal is to ensure Irish and Irish American culture remains alive in the Berkshires.
And there's Kevin there in the back of the shot. Also, the Irish American Man of the Year, John Bresnahan. Kevin hosts Sunday Sons of Ireland on WTBR.
Oh.
It's Rob Dwyer driving the vehicle.
64.
For John Bresnahan. John giving us a wave. And I noticed how you jumped in on that last one, so it would be my turn.
No.
Skull,
I get to do
Rinka,
it.
Breffney, O'Rourke. They're the Irish Dance School in Pittsfield and part of the Irish American Club of Berkshire County. They're performing a forward motion dance with dancing costumes along the parade route.
Well, Bob, I get to pronounce them in the next one, too. They'll be traveling to Ballina. They'll be traveling to Ireland soon with our Irish sister city, who's following right behind them. So the Irish Eyes are smiling today with this entry from the Irish Sister Committee, who are celebrating their 25th year of partnership with Ballina, Ireland. A large contingent of the committee, as well as the Skull, Rinka, Breffney, O'Rourke dancers, will be traveling next week to help Ballina celebrate their tricentennial. So let's take a peek at the dancers.
There's the Irish Sister City Committee.
Do I see Pat Gormley up there?
You sure do.
Wearing multiple hats today.
There's Fran with the Irish flag. There's Pat. And here comes the Lanesboro Volunteer Fire Department. They're marching in full Class A dress uniforms, followed by Engine 1 and their rescue truck. You never really get to appreciate what, the trucks until you see them in the parade. You see them going by. You're thinking about other things, but you really get to appreciate the beauty of these things.
And each town has different ones, so it makes it, even though there's so many fire trucks in the parade, each one is different. So it's really fun to see the differences. So Town Square Media is coming up right behind Lanesboro Volunteer Fire Department. They have 3 radio station vehicles and a vehicle carrying the Hotshot Hillbillies. So Hotshot Hillbillies are going to be performing at the first Live of the Lake this year. The first Live of the Lake is coming up this Wednesday, tomorrow, believe it or not, July 5th. And it runs Wednesday evenings at Anoda Lake from 6 to 8 p.m. So let's take a listen to Hot Shot Hillbillies.
The Live 95.9 vehicle, we got Dave Isby, Marjo, and Slater.
Saying
Jesse
hi,
Stewart,
you're
Eric
popular.
Green in the WSBS vehicle. The WNAW vehicle coming through.
Hot Shot Hillbillies is carrying a trophy, Bob. Do you know what they won?
The second place vehicle in with the 1963 Chevy pickup.
All right.
Let's listen in.
Well, my heart starts beating when the sun starts sinking low. When the shadows
Little sampling from the Hot Shot Hillbillies. Here comes the Berkshire Museum. They combine art, science, and history to create thought-provoking experience for visitors of all ages. The museum celebrates its 120th anniversary this year. I had the opportunity to take a tour of the building a few months ago with the Berkshire Leadership Program.
Nice. Up next is Smokey Bear, DCR Bureau of Fire Control. So what is DCR? That's the Department of Conservation and Recreation. So they have their patrol vehicle with Smokey Bear. Smokey must be hot today, now that the sun's out.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I noticed Burke didn't join us for BCC.
Yes, I know. I was all excited because Burke was going to be here, but maybe it was just too hot.
And here is the Knights of Columbus float. Knights of Columbus float includes Council 103 from Pittsfield and Council 753 from Hudson, New York.
Happy 4th. God bless you guys.
Nice vehicle with another vehicle for the Knights of Columbus. Decked out with flags.
And I see Unico behind them, so that must mean they're marchers, of course. But they also are handling the Cheshire Cat balloon, which
Unico.
is fitting for this year's parade because of the grin, right, Bob?
Absolutely. Stars,
Smiles.
stripes, and smiles. And Unico, just a terrific organization here in the Berkshires, providing so much.
Most definitely.
Jeep. Always wanted one of those. Those Jeeps you can pop the doors off of in the top.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, they're trying to be like the Shriners right now.
They got a golf cart. I've always said we needed a PCTV golf cart. And there's Cheshire Cat.
I agree. I mean, I don't mind getting the steps in, going to and from the start of the parade and back here, but maybe that's something. No, I'm just kidding. Look at that big grin, Bob.
Cheshire Cat, of course, from Alice in Wonderland.
Their arms are going to be tired at the end of this parade route.
Well, they don't have to do too much to get the Cheshire Cat under the streetlights. It's
No,
already.
that's a low-lying one.
And here comes the St. Peter's Drum Corps out of Torrington, Connecticut. They were organized in 1930 and performed music and ethnic favorites, which include Irish tunes such as Wild Irish Rose, Danny Boy, and Four Leaf Clover. Over the past years, they performed in 24 countries, 20 states, and Washington, D.C. They consist of award-winning color guard, majorette, twirlers, pipes, horns, and percussion. Let's listen in on this award-winning band.
So up next we have the Berkshire Bruins. Berkshire Bruins hockey offers learn to skate programs all the way through bantams. They are the host of the annual Gib Kittredge tournament at the Boys and Girls Club hockey rink. Their Squirts were the champions this year of the Lake Placid tournament, winning the gold for the Bruins. They have dedicated coaches, a complete competitive training program for mites, travel skirts, peewees, and bantams. Check them out on their website and come play some hockey. I love the names.
Yes. And here is Premium Waters, Inc. They have employees and family members walking along with a tanker truck and 2 pickup trucks. They're playing patriotic music and have employees in patriotic costumes. And an eagle. And Lady Liberty. And some flags. There's that tanker truck. Love if they had like a little thing on top of it right now that could just give us a little squirt.
I know. The Suns usually have a tractor trailer float, and they usually have squirt guns that shoot water to cool us down, but not this year. It's okay. The sun's going away behind the clouds for a moment, so it's giving some relief. I would love to know how many gallons of water's in that thing.
A lot.
Yeah.
I don't think that was the standard unit of measurement you were looking for.
No. But it is
I like to keep
large.
things simple.
Yes. That was definitely simple.
Quite a bit.
Yes. Very simplified.
And here's the Berkshire Dream Center. They're a nonprofit organization carrying banners and have several marchers in matching shirts and a few jazz dancers and a couple of trucks.
So they have a mobile food pantry now. They do a lot of great work for this community. They started out as a very, very grassroots organization, boots on the ground, literally. They were knocking on doors in the Morningside area at first to try to help, and they've expanded, and look at how far they've come. I mean, they have the mobile food pantry, and then they have that other truck.
They were imperative during it really helped a lot of people during the pandemic.
Sure did. Sure did.
And here's the Lenox Fire Department, Chief Chris O'Brien. They have some marchers up front. Of course, a couple of fire trucks. One of those trucks in that 1930s style.
They're saluting us.
Oh, they're saluting the firefighter up here, not you.
I meant us as in them.
Oh,
okay. The officer of the day.
And here I was trying to keep things simple, and then I made things more complicated. There's that beautiful old style fire truck. And here comes engine 3 right behind it.
A lot
of flashing lights on this one.
And here's the Carpenters Local 336 float, honoring World War I flying ace Lieutenant Snoopy Brown and
His stop with camel.
flying through the clouds, looking for the famous Red Baron. This came in
Third
place.
place for the Float Awards this year.
Congratulations to them.
And I know, I see you, Snoopy. Snoopy behind there.
Very cool.
Very cute.
And here comes a more life-size Snoopy. It's the Big Bang Elements balloon. Some fireworks, which, knock on wood, we'll be seeing plenty of at Wacona Park tonight.
Yes, don't jinx it.
Both with the Suns offense and then after the game with the fireworks display.
There's a lot of little ones. That's fun. And now we have the Pittsfield Adams Elks Lodge, number 272. They're playing patriotic songs from the 1966 Ford F-150 pickup truck and have many marchers.
And this was named the most outstanding vehicle of the 4th of July parade. So congratulations to them. That is beautiful.
There's the trophy.
Coming up next, we have the Rainbow Seniors.
Looks like they're marching right alongside Berkshire Pride. Let's welcome all of their members from both organizations. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm on.
Here's the Adams Forest Warden Department. They're responsible for the prevention and suppression of any and all outdoor fires in the town of Adams. The department's also equipped for search and rescue, emergency management, traffic control, and rural water supply.
And then we have the Greylock Insurance Company banner, followed by the Greylock Federal Credit Union banner. I see Uncle Sam down there, so that must mean one thing.
Yeah, the Uncle Sam Chorus will be joining us in just a moment, but we see that view looking down South Street. The sun has popped back out. Hopefully it'll be here to stay on what's becoming a beautiful 4th of July here in Pittsfield.
And the streets are lined. There's lots of smiles. So this theme is very fitting this year.
And here is the Uncle Sam Chorus out of Ballston Lake, New York, along with Uncle Sam, and it has many veterans on board singing patriotic songs.
Let's take a listen.
There's Uncle Sam up front.
And now we have the Hinsdale Volunteer Fire Department with Chief Ralph Cormier. The fire department marchers are marching in their Class A uniforms, followed by Hinsdale Engine 2.
It's a Mack fire truck. Trailing behind is fire rescue vehicle. And now, get ready for this. It's right after the Hinsdale Fire Department. We have the Lenco Armored Vehicles presenting the iconic Lenco Bearcat in this year's 4th of July parade, proudly showcased by Lenco Armored Vehicles. Based in Pittsfield for over 40 years, the powerful and versatile armored vehicle epitomizes safety and reliability, safeguarding our communities and protecting our nation's first responders. Today it shines as a symbol of our nation's strength and unity. Lenco wishes everybody a happy 4th.
I've only seen it in the color.
Happy
from
4th of
PPD.
July!
So it's fun to see the different
Just
ones.
3 beautiful vehicles. And occasionally, I know last summer they did an open house where people got to walk through and just see everything about Lenco, and everybody said it was so impressive.
That's right.
So hopefully they'll open up their doors again sometime this summer.
Which is so great to think something that, you know, is from Pittsfield is nationwide, you know, that's really special. Just got blinded by their light.
And here comes the Phoenix Theaters staff walking with their themed banner, and we've got plenty of characters to interact. We've got an ice cream cone there, which you can get at the Beacon Cinema. We've got the
Mario.
Transformer, Little Mermaid.
Have you seen the new Super Mario Brothers movie?
I haven't, but my kids haven't stopped talking about it.
It's cute. It's really cute. I haven't seen the new Little Mermaid live action though.
I haven't either.
I'm wondering how that is.
Here's the Salvation Army. They have their emergency disaster response vehicle, as well as marchers with banner, flags, and Timbrel Brigade. Brigade are in Salvation Army t-shirts, and the flag bearers are in Salvation Army uniforms.
All right, up next is the Eastern Band of Woodlands Metis people, Native Americans helping others. They present Noah's Ark, a 1930 Ford AA fire truck pumper who 93 years ago saved the lives of people and brought joy to those who served. Today, 93 years later, she once again saves lives working as non-profit, helping with drug addiction, food pantries, and clothing throughout the USA. The fire truck has a 1932 Northern water pump from a battleship, so that must be pretty powerful. There is a hand-turned 24-karat gold trim, original motor, rear transmission, and body paint was green, but was updated to a lighter green. There is no master cylinder, no brake fluid, no wipers, heater, directional, or brake lights. That's an impressive piece of equipment right there.
And the horn absolutely works.
Yes. And the siren.
And here's the Berkshire County Friday Night Lights Car Club with several antiques, vintage, and classic cars rolling through. Look at these vehicles.
You can hear the rev of the engines.
Yeah, they're rolling through the parade at 5 miles an hour-ish, but they can go much faster than that, I assume.
Yes.
Oh, we got one here doing the lift thing. Look at that.
That's impressive.
Beautiful ambulance.
Wow. I think that ambulance was in the car show that the 4th of July Parade Committee put on the other day.
Oh, that's right.
I remember seeing that one. And just seeing the back door open of it, there's so much room in the back. I just can't believe the difference in today's ambulance versus
Oh, I know.
back in the day.
And here comes the Berkshire Benevolent Association for the Blind.
Wow.
In memory of Helen Keller. It's created by Michael Melly and speaks about her life in the club. Carrying their banner is Phil, who is totally blind, but that doesn't stop him from restoring cars, mowing his lawn, and playing in the ukulele group.
And they won second place, right? For their
Second place.
float. And look at that trophy to prove it. Can't wait to see it. Phil is so impressive. Being blind and the work he does on cars, it's unbelievable. Unbelievable.
And there is the float. Ooh.
Ooh. It is starting to pick up.
Yeah, the wind started to pick up a little bit.
And that just proves it. I was thinking of it.
This is great. We could just place it right on the front of the car and it'll be fine. And then we've had no wind all day until just that moment.
Oh, that's too funny.
And I'll tell you, we've been very lucky with the weather. I'm looking at the radar right now.
Is something
It
coming?
exploded just to the west or to the east of us.
Oh,
so
okay.
whatever it was passed through
Good.
Pittsfield and then just became this wall of, because that's where some of the wind is coming from.
Right, right.
As that storm's starting to develop, but that is off to our east.
Yeah, I was concerned with the wind kicking up to see it.
So I immediately checked the radar. And
But if we look in the clear for at least a little bit longer, Bob?
yeah, everything's happening, bypassing us and happening east.
Perfect.
And here comes the Haddad banner and Haddad Auto Group. They have the Haddad House vehicle from Haddad Auto Group, made up of Toyota, Subaru, and Hyundai, celebrating 90 years as the Berkshire's hometown auto dealer. The Haddad House mobile reflects the many charities that the Haddad family and teams are committed to throughout the year to make the Berkshires the best it can be. George and his family thank you for 90 years.
And here are the Trojan horns from Troy, New York. Please welcome them, an explosive brass band from Troy, New York. This small group has a big sound and plays everything from second line swing to top 40 hits. So let's take a listen. He's playing to the piano.
Just another great look at the parade route, the beginning of the parade route from our 7 North Street camera. And here comes U.S. Taekwondo and Archery. Taekwondo provides martial arts and archery training that encourage personal growth and development for each individual student at his or her own pace, emphasizing both physical and mental conditioning. They provide a before and after program and a summer camp program, which is safe, nurturing environment in which children respect and appreciate each other while training and playing together. There they are showing their Taekwondo. I wouldn't want to be on the other side of one of those kids.
Have you ever tried punching the wooden board to break it in half?
I have not.
I have not either.
In the Pittsfield Public Schools, they had an elementary school program, so my kids were able to do it.
Oh, okay.
I did not attempt it.
I'm afraid it would hurt my hand.
Yeah, very much so.
And not break it. Black belts? Do I see black belts? I see a variety of them.
Not showing off the archery today, which I don't think the parade committee would have enjoyed as much. But
So now we have Radiance Yoga, winner of Best in the Berkshires for 2 years in a row. They're located in the heart of Pittsfield on North Street, and they offer heated yoga classes as well as luxurious massages and local business shopping. Stop in and say hello and go to a class. They are open 7 days a week. Tie-dye is popular today.
absolutely. As the Radiance Yoga crew gives us a wave. Heated yoga classes sounds hot.
Yes. Now we have Bianco Limo Services, and they have 2 limo buses from them.
Those are beautiful. And here comes the J. Smeagol roofing float. They have a custom-built garage with a smart car coming out of it and a catwalk for their participants. As Jay Spiegel rolls through, we'll keep an eye on the parade and acknowledge some of our underwriters.
Proud supporters of the Pittsfield 4th of July Parade. You can see Greylock virtually anytime online at greylock.org. Greylock Federal Credit Union, opportunity grows here. We would also like to thank Be Fair and these generous businesses.
Welcome back to the Pittsfield 4th of July Parade. Becky Manship here. As we see the Adams Community Bank banner and balloon, patriotic hot air balloon. The red, white, and blue on the balloon. And the folks from Adams Community Bank.
And then here we have the Fairview Commons float. Integritas Healthcare is a not-for-profit, consumer-centered organization committed to fulfilling the health and residential needs of the population and the communities they serve. Fairview Commons is located in Great Barrington. Their staff and residents are one big family, and they're here today to celebrate the 4th, waving our stars, stripes, and smiles as we enjoy this beautiful day. Having those umbrellas is smart.
Yes. As they march on through. Well-decorated pickup trucks. And here comes the New Ashford Fire Department. bringing along their 1990 Grumman Firecat fire apparatus, which is engine 2, as well as a 2021 Freightliner Tanya tanker, which is tanker number 1. There's a cartwheel. It's the 1990 fire truck. I'm starting to hear some rumblings again.
Yeah. Rumble Strip Garage is up next. They have 8 mini bikes and 2 vehicles. Well, looks like they have 8 mini bikes and a golf cart. Or maybe the golf cart is...
And here comes the Berkshire Shrine Club. Various vehicles, such as go-karts, a golf cart, marching clowns. They got everything. Always one of the favorites at the 4th of July parade.
Here they come. So the golf cart was associated with the Shriners.
One of the clowns. I've never seen a clown on a motorcycle before.
It's a smaller one, so seems fitting.
Oh yeah, I guess the smaller
Right?
motorcycles they have, yeah.
Here they are.
Look at some ATVs. And that thing. I want one of those things.
One's doing a wheelie back there.
Oh yeah. Poor camera guy out there. Don't hit me, don't hit me, don't hit me. Okay. There's a lot of faith. We see another tricked out golf cart here.
There we go. Stop right there.
Six wheels on that thing. And here come the Windsor Volunteer Fire Department. They have 1 fire truck as well as their volunteer firefighters. I mean, firefighting is a rough job, and to just like volunteer to do it.
I know.
Remarkable.
I do have some family members around the country that have done that. Oh, doing wheelies.
There go the
Or
Shriners.
donuts. Doing donuts. All right, so I hear some music, so that must mean the Wofat Brass Band must be coming. So they were in that concert last night with the Mummers and heard it was spectacular. It was founded in 2012 and specializes in performing at parades, weddings, and other type of events in and around the Philadelphia region. They are best known for their unique instrumentation, which can range from 7 to 20 musicians, quality of musicianship, and dynamic music arrangements. Their brass band repertoire spans across decades of musical genres, including second line, jazz, funk, disco, and rock.
Well, we have Paul Dutton's 1966 Studebaker Daytona.
They're coming first. All right, they jumped
the gun.
ahead, and then the Pittsfield 4th of July Balloon 2 came first. Well, that's good. I got to talk a little bit about them before they came so we could listen
now we
in,
can just
right?
listen to them. That worked out perfect.
So yeah, they've won top honors for musical performances. So let's listen in.
Here comes the Pittsfield Parade Committee by Peter Marchetti, the president of the Parade Committee.
Absolutely phenomenal. And there's the Pittsfield Parade Committee, a lot of my friends.
Stand up and give them a round of applause. All volunteers.
Yes, for sure. If anyone is interested in volunteering, they always need help.
And if you're watching on TV and you're watching along the parade route, they have the Bucket Brigade. So please give to the Bucket Brigade as they head on by if you're watching further down. And wow, another parade in the books.
Yes.
That just flew by.
It did. It really
It's
did.
just over before you know it.
I know, and that was just under 2 hours. They always are on point, for sure.
Well, definitely want to thank the Pittsfield Parade Committee and everyone who was involved. Definitely want to thank our crew.
Yes.
Some of our crew members. We have Jody with us in the booth with us. There's Dave Cachet. And these folks are going to be here for a couple of hours after the parade, cleaning up and doing everything there. And there's a shot
the back
behind.
of us.
Oh boy. There's Jody right there.
We can't do it without Jody, for sure.
Do we have a shot of the truck? Do we have a shot of the truck?
Yeah, there's Dave. Let's see. Here we go.
Some of our volunteers. New crew shirts that arrived on Friday.
Spiffy.
Reflecting our new colors and logos. Camera crew. There's the truck. Here we go.
Matt and Sean
Matt
and
Tucker,
company.
Sean. Dave in there. They got to sit in the air-conditioned truck the whole time. So that was
There's
nice.
Dave again. But
Well-
no, we have a great crew.
And there's Rob, who handled that large camera today. Jeff Turner. And basically all of our volunteers, our entire crew is volunteer who helped out today and yesterday as we set up and tore down. But that's gonna wrap things up. There's more from the, but I know we're gonna wrap things up kind of quickly because they're gonna be taking this band shell.
Yes.
And
The
in about
city's
3
always-
minutes. Oh yeah, they're going to be waiting for us.
They wanna clean up
As soon
and
as
get
we go
home.
off the air, we're just going to be throwing stuff off the shelf so they can get it out of here.
They've been here since early.
Well,
so.
Another 4th of July parade in the books. We want to thank the Pittsfield Parade Committee, our volunteers, our underwriters, and Becky, thank you for joining us for another year.
Well, thank you for having me.
Can we convince you to do this another year next year?
I think so.
All right.
I think so.
We've got
You've heard it
confirmation. You
here.
heard it here first. She's back next year. So
as long as you'll have me.
So for Becky Manship, I'm Bob Heck. Thanks so much for tuning into the 4th of July parade. We'll see you next year, everybody.
Have a great, safe day, everybody.
Thank you for joining us live at Park Square for Pittsfield Community Television's coverage of the Pittsfield 4th of July Parade 2023. We would like to once again thank our generous underwriters for their support of today's coverage. Thank you to our stars underwriter, Greylock Federal Credit Union, whose devotion to local programming and events in Berkshire County goes to show that at Greylock, opportunity grows here. For more information about their many services, visit them online at www.greylock.org. Thanks also to our Stripes underwriters, which include Berkshire Community College, Be Fair, and Berkshire Bank. Thanks also to these forever underwriters. Finally, thank you for joining us and for your continued support of our organization. With Access Pittsfield, Pittsfield DTV, CityLink, and WTBR-FM, we are proud to continue to have Pittsfield covered with our local television and for the love of radio.